Party invite last night at 11:15. Take a look here. Try to see if I can call it in. There we go. 5.
Occupied. Kids are keeping me occupied, so for the most part, the little guys definitely keep me.
Hey Ronnie, how you doing? How'd you like that stream earlier I did today? Or this evening? What's the plan?
I gotta figure out how to...
I kind of figured you would enjoy something a little on the funny side for a change. I had fun. Alright. Where are we at here? Okay.
Alright.
I got what I needed to do here for my sugar factory. Cool. Well, this is one big field. Field 4.
Alrighty. Alright. Charles, I'm headed in, man.
I'm already in.
Oh, well darn.
I thought you was paying attention.
No, apparently not. I remember now. Okay.
Oh my. See what I need to do here. Take a look at this one field over here.
What am I carrying? Wheat. Alright, that's it.
Yeah, it holds 1 million, not just 500,000. 500,000 in each belly dump, which makes it 1 million. You'll never be able to fill up that wagon. You'll never be able to fill it. Not on this map. See where the sugarcane is.
What the hey? My stream didn't start. Darn.
Wow.
What went wrong there? But it did not start. There we go. Good thing I noticed that.
Yeah.
I know my age, I could have been lackadaisical for an hour and not notice that. Tiny!
Tiny!
What's up, gentlemen?
Not a whole
Nothing
lot.
much, man. Just trying to see what kind of trouble I can get into.
I don't try to get in trouble anymore, it's not what you think. All I usually have to do is open my mouth to my wife, it's enough.
Hey, Nicholson.
That's my truck. That's what I do.
What did you think of that stream earlier this evening? I thought it was hilarious.
He's got to be talking to you, Tiny. I didn't catch no streams today.
No, he was talking to Nicholson Farms. What did you stream earlier there?
Chickens on the road?
Chickens on the road. Is it a game?
Yeah, it's a game. It's a 99
cent.
It's a 99-cent game. You have to watch. You have to watch it.
I'll take a peek at it later. Definitely. Sounds interesting.
Within the 24 minutes of streaming, I platinumed out that game.
Awesome.
They have a platinum and you got it in 24 minutes?
Yeah.
Holy crap, for 99 cents I should just get the platinum.
It was hilarious.
That was everybody's holiday, hopefully well.
To win any better? I don't know what I'd do with myself.
There you go. It's the only way to have it.
About the only thing you can really do once you reach platinum, about the anything you could, about the most you can do with that game is challenge a whole bunch of people to beat your score.
My wife had a good laugh. Alicia asked me the other night, telling my wife about it, what I got for Christmas. I said popcorn. And she's like, oh. And me and my wife laughed because I don't celebrate it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds horrible, you know what I mean? What'd you get? Popcorn. Oh. What a mess.
I was listening to the Statler Brothers the other night, and they mentioned strings of popcorn on the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
In one of their songs. And all three of my boys looked at me for that. They're like, what the hell are you talking about, Dad? I'm like, they used to pop popcorn and then put it on strings and they would decorate Christmas trees like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're like, oh, cool. And I'm like, it doesn't beat the lit candles and the dried out pine boughs, though.
No, it doesn't.
They looked at me, they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, they used to do that too. Well, this is like, you're joking, right? I'm like, no, they really did that.
A lot of houses burnt down.
Yep. That they did.
That string popcorn, man. Have you ever done that before? Made that?
God, no. I may have when I was very young, but I don't
you'd remember. Because your thumb, you're constantly stabbing yourself with the needle.
No, nope. Never did it.
Yeah. It's a cherished memory you'll never forget. Ow! Son of a...
I'm sure.
2 minutes later, ow! Son of a...
Oh, shit.
And no matter how you adjust your fingers, it still happens because you hit that kernel and that needle just goes any direction it wants to.
Yeah. But
Hey,
the
little...
secret to stringing popcorn, you should use a curved needle. That way you didn't poke yourself.
Good thinking. Did you see that writing I wrote on the bottom? You know how you leave a message to your audience on the bottom? You know, like,
Yeah,
share, and subscribe.
I haven't put
I
mine
wrote,
back up yet.
I wrote, Facebook and Twitter can F off. Put me up on Facebook now. Put me up. Oh, life is grand. Alicia, how you doing? I'm here with Tiny and Charles. Necro Charles.
Hey, Alicia, what's going
Exactly.
on?
F them. Exactly. I think I'm being overly kind to them. Oh. I think the saddest thing that could ever happen to anybody is them never hear no in their lives.
Yeah, I hear you there. My kids know that. My kids know that phrase all too well.
What the word N-O?
Yes,
What's a
sir.
Redbox movie? Is that a
It's
movie
like
where you rent it from the rental place?
you rent it from literally a red box outside of like gas stations or quickie marts or something.
Oh, I've seen some of them. She said the movie was so bad that it was actually kind of good. I've
Oh
seen
wow.
some of them before.
But that's alright, Ronnie.
Look, even my combine. I don't know. I was gonna say it was quieter than the other combine, but I don't think that's true. I think that
Yeah.
other combine was really quiet, man.
I've noticed on a lot of the combines that noises, the engine sounds they vary from machine to machine. You know,
Yeah,
some
they
can be
really
loud,
do.
some can be really loud, some can be really quiet.
The one that I was running last time, Tiny, man, it sounded like a blow dryer.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really
Yeah,
quiet.
no, I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah. It's like that electric tractor we have now on 19 on our Erlengrot.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan. Yeah, they're both communist sympathizers. Matter of fact, Jackie Chan lives in China now. Doesn't surprise me the movie wasn't so great. It was probably pro CCP.
I haven't been on Facebook that much, all that much lately because of all this political bullshit going on. And just
I dropped Facebook.
every time you turn around, somebody's complaining, and some liberals, you know, sitting over there. Oh, Trump supporters are idiots and this and that, and then somebody on the Trump side, oh, liberals are dumbasses, which we already know.
Right.
I
This
get
whole
fed up with
election
it.
thing, though, it's not about left or right, man. It's about did we get fair election or didn't we?
We didn't.
Well, you know, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what party you are because your party might win this time. What about next time?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Oh, shit. No, I don't want to do that.
It just was bad. It just was bad.
Yeah, no joke. Who said that? Alicia did?
Yeah.
You ain't
She
kidding.
said it wasn't nothing politically bad in it. It just was bad. It just was.
That's funny. There's that loaded back up.
I can't help but to keep a kind spot in my heart for both of them, though. Even though they're commies.
What was that?
I mean,
Was
you
it
got to
the-
admit it.
was that
At
the
least
kitty?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is a smart guy. I mean, moved here from another country, became Mr. Olympia or something like this, then started making movies, then married Kennedy, then became governor. I mean, what the heck? You know what I mean? Guy's got it going on at least.
So what'd you think of the map I was streaming there, Ben?
Pretty cool.
That's one of Matt's maps, St. Croix Flowage on 19.
Yeah, I got a do something
If
with
you're
one of
in a,
Matt's maps
if
because
you're,
Matt was a friend of mine. I don't know, you know, and I haven't done anything with his maps yet. I hadn't
he's got a
streamed one of his
couple of them.
maps.
He's got a couple. He's got St. Croix Flowage, which I think was his first one, right? Wasn't it, Charles?
I think so.
And
Well,
then
me and Matt been friends for what, like 2 years, and I haven't streamed one of his maps yet. That's not good.
he's got Dark Forest out, which is one that came out recently. I think a new
James
one just dropped
Oliver.
as well. But I'm enjoying. Well, I enjoy logging. Period.
Yeah, I know you do. But that's the whole thing. The logging is so. Everyone tells me it's so bad in that game. I don't even know if I want to get involved in it. You know.
The grabbers, the loading hooks or the
Yeah.
loading claws that they have for it suck. Hands down, they're the worst ones possible that they could have put in the game. And
Wow.
Charles will agree with me on that. They're absolutely horrible. But that John Deere loader that I was using,
Yeah.
you can put the claw down on a pile of logs, and then R1 and push down on the right analog stick, and it's got a strap.
Yeah,
It
it's got a
straps the
strap
logs
on
to
it.
the straps the
Wow.
logs to the claws, and you can move them anywhere you want to.
James Oliver says he's getting a new phone. What kind of phone you getting, J. Ray? You know, one of them there flip phones with a
He's
built-in pager.
he's getting a flip phone in this day and age. There's a problem.
No
They're
kidding.
still available.
Yeah,
Can't,
I know. Some people
yeah, but
swear by them still.
you can't use them. Well, at least you can't with Verizon. Most companies now don't do 3G anymore, so you have a hard time getting in and getting to work. That's why I
Yeah,
went to the other ones.
my
I gotta
S9
go maybe
my
talk
S9
to
Plus
All
works
right,
perfect on
take
3G.
care, Alicia.
Works better on 3G than it does on 4G half the time. But I live in the middle of nowhere too. So.
An A01. I don't know what an A01 is. I got a Galaxy S10. I don't know what an A01
Don't
was.
speak foreign
And the
languages
SA.
to him. I don't even know what that means.
I don't. I have no idea what that is.
What's going on there, James? Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Samsung. It's a good phone.
Yeah. I mean, it's better. It's a smartphone. You know,
Yeah.
it's not an iPhone.
Not an iPhone. I can't iPhone. A buddy of mine I used to work with he swears by iPhones.
Yeah, my
Flat
sister
out.
does too.
Best thing to him, it's the best thing that ever came out. I cannot
But
navigate them. I can't
iPhone's
use
owned
them.
by
Nothing.
Apple, and Apple's owned by China.
And Apple sucks.
Yeah. So I don't do Apple. I think you're already in the invite, man. But don't
Yeah, you
bore us
should be.
here, bro.
You should. Yeah, he's in the invite chat. Chat invite or whatever the hell it was called. Watch your language,
Yeah, man. Watch your language.
man. Come on, man. I tell you what the kids did to me for Christmas Day. They're all mad.
What'd they do?
Well, for starters, they got me a gift while I was in the hospital, and I didn't know what it was until Christmas morning, because they actually all kept their damn mouth shut once. But my wife gave our oldest permission to wrap it.
Right.
He wrapped it in an entire roll of clear duct tape, and then he wrapped it once with duct tape, zip tied it, wrapped it in newspaper and duct tape, and then put the rest of the zip ties. Total combined amount of zip ties were 60.
Wow.
Wrapped it in 60 freaking zip ties.
Now that's
And-
love. Now
And
that's
an
love.
entire roll of clear duct tape with old
Wow.
newspapers. It was almost. My wife recorded it and put it up on my Facebook page on my gaming channel.
I'm not sure if we are or not.
I'm pretty sure they are.
I shut Facebook completely down on all my equipment. I mean, like, completely down. I went into my settings and shut everything off. everything because you can't delete out of Facebook. I
Yeah, you
tried.
can. You
No,
can.
I tried.
You didn't do it right. You can
No, I
delete
did it
Facebook.
right.
I can go in there and delete
It
my
says you
entire
can
Facebook
delete it.
profile.
It takes 30 days for it to fully delete. I go back 6 months later, it was still there.
Nah, you did something wrong. I know somebody that deleted it and wiped out everybody he had on his friends list within an hour.
I need to figure
But
that one
that's
out.
but that's after he started shit with the wrong people. Hey, Jerry's
Jerry!
here. Hi, Jerry.
Jeffrey!
Nada.
Not much, man.
How was your Christmas, man? Best part
I
was
got
being home,
popcorn.
dude. I didn't get popcorn, damn it, I'm jealous. No, mine was good. The best part was just being able to be home. Not stuck in a damn hospital.
All I want for Christmas is my teeth, front teeth.
Oh, hell, I'd love to be busy right now, but I can't go back to work. I can't do anything. I can't lift anything. My wife's gotta help me get my damn shoes and socks on.
I have no idea how that is. I've never been through that yet in my life, thank God.
It sucks.
It has to suck.
Kids gotta help me around the kitchen. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Kids help me around the house doing stuff and cleaning and whatnot. It gets aggravating after a couple of weeks. Then you start getting pissed off because you're so aggravated.
I'm a gamer. As long as my thumbs work, I'm gonna be okay almost no matter what the circumstances are. Give me a cup of coffee, a loaf of bread, and my thumbs, and we'll be okay. We'll be
A jar of jelly. We'll be in heaven.
They were like, you gotta stay in your house. I was like, huh? I was like,
what? Stay where?
Has it got 3 cameras on it or 2?
Mine's got 3. Mine's got one on the front and then 2 on the back.
Yeah, I got the last 2 camera that they made.
Oh,
How much your phone cost you
whoa,
there,
whoa, 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 whoa,
James
whoa,
Ray?
Come on, what the flip?
Oh, you got a contract.
He bought a burn phone.
Alright,
So
yeah.
one of the ones you put minutes on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burn phone.
I was gonna say, I bought
That's
my
not too
phone
bad.
cost me, I don't know. I don't have anything on it. My phone's completely unlocked. And it ran me about, if I remember right, after I was done with everything, about $800.
Mm-hmm.
The helper ran into a tree and stayed there.
Well,
He hit
that's
a
how
tree and
usually they
left.
just take off.
That's what he did. He hit a tree and he left. Bastard broke my equipment and decided to leave. Not for $60, it doesn't. Yeah. For $60, you're lucky you got a camera at all. I hope I'm
Hey,
planting the right
track
thing.
phone's not bad. They've been around for ages. I had a track phone. My brother-in-law gave us. It still had a pull-out antenna on the damn thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember them.
And that thing worked anywhere.
Last time I had one of them was in the 90s. I would
Verizon,
not enter
don't
into
go
a
with,
contract.
don't go to Verizon. They will, if you go over on your plan, they will screw you like you wouldn't believe.
I got a setup where you can't go over on the plan. It shuts down.
Well, when I got my phone through Xfinity back in Connecticut, I got it. They
Well,
offered
and
like a two
they're
gigabyte plan for $35 a month, or you
Right.
could get unlimited everything, talk, text, and data for $45 a month. I'm like, oh shit! If I can get unlimited everything, I'll go with the $45 a month plan, and I don't have to worry about overages or nothing.
Right.
I mean, I barely talk to anyone via text message anymore, save for maybe my mother and one of my sisters. And then everybody else I deal with is via the internet on Messenger or whatever.
The
I mean, hell,
I
I'm in
got
constant contact
a.
with Totster 12 and Farmer Pierce and Buttons via Messenger on Facebook.
I was paying $50 a month for 8 gigabytes and unlimited
50,
text and talk.
$50
You
a month
know.
ain't much. It's cheap.
No. And then I called them up a couple months ago. Something or other happened. Nothing big. You know what I mean? But I needed their help.
Uh-huh.
And for no reason at all, they gave me 15 gigabytes a month and then actually went unlimited and charged me $10 less.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Maybe they change your plan or something.
No, they just said that I've been a loyal customer for 2 years. So
Oh, nice. Can't beat that with a stick with some nails beat through the end of it.
I like how they threaten me every time I pay every month. If you don't make a payment within this amount of days, you'll lose your phone number. I mean, they threaten you. That's
Oh,
the part that
wow.
always weirds me out. It's like, why are you threatening me? That's what I live for, random pictures.
Same here for my wife. You send it to the group chat there? Huh?
What?
Totster 12 just picked his up today. He hasn't even taken it out of the box. He works for Stigler PD in Oklahoma, so he's on for the next 4 days and then 4 days off. So he won't be. I think he actually recorded the unboxing video tonight, but I don't know if he's actually used it yet.
Unboxing a PS5?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't trust anybody that hasn't had the PS5 for less than 2 months. You know, because everything's great when you first get it.
Tots is a level-headed dude. I'm sure you've talked to him in your streams or all that. He's probably popped in once or twice. But Tots is a good dude, and
Yeah.
he tells it how it is. If he doesn't like it, he's
he'll
gonna
let
let
you
you know if it
know,
sucks
I
or not.
guarantee it.
Yeah, you don't really have enough time to know though. Like when you first pop it out of the box and the first
No,
day
no,
you
you gotta
plug
give
it in,
you gotta give everything a fair shot.
that's why I'm saying like 2 months, you know, at
Yeah.
least a month before you really know
Yeah.
or have an idea, you know, because either something is great when you first pop it out of the box and gets worse from there, or it's terrible and gets better from there, or it's
Or it sucks and
terrible and
just
then it
sucks,
just
period.
sucks.
No, I hear you there, man.
I've never experienced that.
I'm healing pretty quick though, so I mean, there's that.
Oh, a couple more fields, Tiny, and I'll be making a ton of money.
Word up.
Things will start going really fast, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I'm cooking right along on my Switch on Sosnovka. I'm having a blast too.
Sosnovka is a slow start map.
It is. It is a very slow start map, but
The fields are all medium size at best.
it only took me a week with paying off that $300,000 loan.
A week?
Yep. Well, that's because I don't play the Switch a lot, so, you know.
Oh, okay.
When I do play it, I'll play it for a couple hours straight, and I'll do a ton of missions and whatnot, and I'll take that, and that's what pays off my loan.
Right.
Gets me caught
I
up.
say you should be able to pay off the loan in a couple hours, maybe 3 hours at the most. It did it again. What the hell is it doing hitting the trees? It hasn't hit the
X9,
trees yet, and all of a sudden it can't avoid hitting the trees.
the X9 won't be coming to console. You're on
What's the
PC too, though,
X9?
aren't you? The X9's a John Deere harvester that the modder, Sid modder made it, but he used parts off of a cracked DLC, which violated Giant's modding standards. So they temporarily banned him and quite a few others for the same reason, and then they unbanned him from the mod hub. So it might come to the mod hub, but it might take a while.
Give a little bit of your drugs to me. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
My.
I got some Oxy
my.
kicking. I got some OxyContin that's kicking my
I'm
ass.
afraid to get addicted to them things. Next thing you know, I'll be doing fentanyl.
Dude, they gave me that shit in the hospital. They gave me that crap when I had to go down for my bereavement cleanings.
Right.
They used fentanyl to knock my ass out. Holy crap, was I on fucking cloud nine.
I'll bet, man. That stuff's 50 times stronger than that Oxycontin, they say.
Dude, the very first time I remember going down to bereavement cleaning and then waking up in recovery, because they have to keep you down there until you're awake and coherent and you know what's going on. So they make sure that they didn't overdose you or something.
Doesn't bereavement mean crying or something like that, like death?
I don't know what the technical
Yeah, like
term
when
is.
someone's sad and they're crying a lot, aren't they bereaved?
I don't know. I had to go
I
for
think
cleaning
so.
for my surgeries. That's all I know. I had to go get my wounds cleaned out like every 3 days. And the crap they put me on. They put that oxygen mask on me. Okay, breathe deep, Joe. You got it.
Yeah.
But I woke up the very first time I woke up from one of my cleanings. I would have sworn I was in a mine shaft, and they were pushing like mining carts around and crap.
Wow.
I was watching them. I was watching them push other patients out of the recovery room to go back to their room, and I swore they were pushing mining carts.
Wow.
I was so far gone, it was stupid. Like, what the hell are we doing in a mine shaft? The nurse kind of looked at me. She goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, I feel pretty good, but what the hell are we doing in a mine shaft?" She goes, "You're in recovery?" And that was the last thing I remember. I passed back out because she shot me up with more fentanyl.
Nice.
I was like,
And you're
"Well,
not leaving the
thanks."
mine shaft.
I woke up screaming from one of them, my right, because I've got hip issues. And I don't know if they didn't move me from the operating table back onto my bed properly or what, but my right hip, it felt like the socket had separated. It hurt so bad.
Ow.
And
Wow.
I literally woke up screaming. The nurse comes over. She goes, "Oh my God, what's the matter with you?" And I'm like, "You fucked up my hip." First thing she did was reach for that fentanyl, man. She had that in me quicker than white on rice, and I was gone. I don't even know what she gave me, but she injected, I saw her stick it in the port for my IV. That was it. That was the last thing I remember. I was out. And then she did it, and then she had to do it 3 more times because I kept waking up screaming because my hip hurt so bad.
Wow. I gotta buy me another piece of land. I'm almost out of debt, Tiny, which means another piece of land time.
Word.
I don't like going back into debt, but I also don't like the idea of not getting another piece of land ASAP before I have to start replacing all this equipment.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, I've got one tractor with 11 hours. I've now got 5.5 hours on my harvester, you know, so I've got $1 million worth of equipment's coming up in replacement.
Mm-hmm. John
Well, the
Deere's
more land you
overpriced
got, the
anyway.
better chance you got of making the money to replace it, you know?
Medicine Creek like a regular farming map, or is that like a logging type map? Sweet. I think Fletch was doing something on Medicine Creek there for a little bit. I can't remember now. Oh, I'm in his Discord. I'm one of his moderators.
Yeah, what the hell? You took away my moderator there, Tiny.
The hell I did? What the hell are you talking about? I did not.
I
Is
typed
your
in, it
blue,
doesn't show as moderator.
your blue wrench is MIA?
Yeah, it's MIA.
Oh, no, you were under a different account.
Oh, you're right.
That's
You're
why.
right, you're
I was
right,
gonna
you're right,
say I
you're
didn't
right,
take your
you're right.
French away. I haven't.
I went in
There's
with my
only.
other account.
Who did I take? I took away Funny Bone 147's wrench, and I took away Big Dog Gaming's wrench. I didn't.
What happened to Big Dog Gaming?
I had issues with both of those two.
What the hell did Big Dog
I
Gaming
can
do? I never heard
understand
anything bad about
why.
him.
Big Dog Gaming is a conceited piece of shit, in my opinion.
Alright, there you go. Works for me.
And on top of that, he's rude in other people's chats.
Oh, that's not good. That's
So
not good.
that got him blocked from my channel, kicked off my Facebook page, and then he lost his wrench.
Yeah,
Funny
that
Bone
sounds real. Yeah.
Funny Bone 147 pissed me off because he was making fun of Nicholson to a group of people that one didn't take kindly to him making fun of Nicholson Farm, because Nicholson Farm has issues,
Right.
which pissed all of them off, and then I caught wind of it, and that was it for him.
Right. Well, bad mouthing, you know, or being rude on someone else's stream only looks bad on you if they're modding for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all. That's the only person who looks bad on is you. You know, 'cause then they come to yours and he's a mod there. You know what I mean? It just makes you look like you're part of that.
Right.
So anybody that mods me, if I catch them, you know, bad mouthing in another stream, then who the heck do I got for mods? The only one I could catch doing that is Canadian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've got you, Canadian, and Sanchez. I don't think it's gonna happen. You know, and the only reason I put Canadian is because he just kept pounding me, and I thought, what the heck, man? Why not?
Yeah.
I got about 5 people watching my stream. You know.
The amount of squeakers, the amount of squeakers I've had pop into my streams and ask for that right off the bat. It's like, nope, don't know you. You haven't been here long enough, and you have to be around long enough to support the channel and show that you actually take interest and not be a douche canoe.
Yeah, I'm not into
only
the
then,
squeakers too much.
only
Because
then
they
will
don't
you get
have,
a wrench.
yeah, they don't have the wisdom to know when and when not to.
Well, yeah. Golf cart jockey ran into that one night. Couldn't tell if she was a squeaker or not, but I kind of believe she was. Some young lady came into one of his streams one night and asked for a wrench, and he's like, yeah,
I
you
know
know
you
what?
are.
And he goes, what the hell, why not? And then immediately she like timed somebody out from making a joke towards golf cart, and she took it as they were making fun of her. It's like, whoa. I even said something in stream. I'm like, yo, golf cart, that's not gonna fly, dude. He's like, whoa, what are you doing? You can't do that.
That's... Tank is empty. Well, darn. Watch it be right near the end.
Got another storm coming here in a couple of days, I guess. Tuesday.
Good night, Jeff. God bless, man.
Rest easy
Oh,
there,
by
Jeff.
the way, my Bucks made it to the playoffs. Did your Rams get there? Not that I want to rub it in,
No, he said they didn't win. I saw that in the chat stream.
but that doesn't mean they didn't make it to the playoffs.
What happened to, is the Steelers in the play?
The reason I know the Saints are is because they beat the Bucks twice.
So do I pay off the rest of my loan, or do I buy a wood chipper? Decisions.
How close are you to midnight?
It's only 12:51 in game time.
Yeah,
But I only have, I've only got $190,000 left to pay off on a loan.
Are you on 19 or 17?
I'm on 19.
You're on 19? Yeah, I don't know how much that is. 50,000 is like...
I've got $69,000 in the bank at the moment.
Alright.
Plus I got two decent piles of
fall
logs
that
here.
way.
Yeah, so you can pay off the debt, then I would go for it. Besides, the debt thing isn't as important in 19 because you can get millions in 19. You're not limited. You know, so if an emergency comes up,
the maps,
you still have extra cash.
the maps are limited for taking out loans. Like this one caps out at $500,000.
Okay.
Is the max you can take out on a loan. And when I started playing tonight, I was maxed out still, and I started, really going to town and cutting down trees and getting them turned in and paying off the loans. So.
Right.
And I'm making decent piles of wood. So once I get a decent pile, I'll load up the truck a couple of times and take that and sell it at the sawmill. Of course, I'm not using a very big truck. I'm using one of those old army-looking style trucks, and it's got a 6-meter bed on it. So
Right.
I could be getting more money for longer logs, but I don't have a trailer purchased to load longer logs. So I'm just working with what I got at the moment.
Don't they have that wood chipper there that pays you instantly?
I don't like that static wood chipper. I like the wood chipper that you purchase and then you have to unload it into a trailer and then take the wood chips to the mill. I like that chipper better.
All right.
Because you could park it anywhere you want with a tipper next to the conveyor belt, and you can do I can do what you do on 17 on Smoky Mountain, and just back right up to the chipper and cut 2-meter lengths into the chipper and let it chew it up until the tipper's full, and then just go sell the tipper full of wood chips.
Right.
So I mean.
Have you looked at the self-propelled one yet?
Steps. Self-propelled one what?
Wood chipper?
We have a self-propelled wood chipper.
You haven't, you didn't see the one that came on the Mud Hub this past week or so?
Nope, missed it. Oh wait, no, I think I have that one. That's that, hold on a tick. Is that green looking thing?
Yeah.
Looks like it's called a WBM Diamante 2000?
Yeah, that's the one.
I have it installed, I haven't used it yet. How much is it?
I haven't either.
Oh, $625,000.
Cheap.
Kiddo's finally went to bed.
Quick save.
Quitters.
I'm gonna have to go back to log in to the scene. I should have checked the time on that.
Oh, come on, you're cooking on, so don't walk away from it now.
3940, 3940. I guess it's used this one or none of them.
I was working on Estacio Apache last night on 17, and I was making some really good headway. Went to finish up the contract. I got just to the end of the contract. Blue screen, game crashed. You son of a...
hate
I
that.
bet you had some choice words for that one.
I made the mistake. I hadn't saved since I loaded the game in, so everything that I did get done was lost. So I have to go back in and do it all over again. Because I've been trying to teach myself to save after like every mission, like you said, all bad. I've been trying to break myself of not saving, and for some reason last night I just didn't save anything.
That's when it hits you, though. The minute that you don't save, that's when it happens.
Yep.
You know?
I was so pissed. I was like, all that work I just did, because I did contracts. I did a harvesting contract. Then I did all the fertilizing, the plowing, the sowing, and fertilizing again for that field. And just as I was I was just finishing up the sowing contract. I was probably a quarter of the way left to do on the field.
Right.
And it crashed on me. I was like, you bastard. Lost the whole field of wheat that I had just sown on my own farm.
Remember the time you lost 4 hours?
Again. Oh, dude, don't get me started. I've lost 100. I lost 124 hours on Balancard because of my hard drive failing.
Still got you beat.
Ugh.
I had about 500 hours in Goldcrest, and my wife deleted it on me. And she said she did it by accident. Now, how do you delete this thing by accident? They ask you like 5 different ways. Are you sure you want to do this? You know, you have to go down a long road to delete something in this game. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that was an accident. All right, but I let it go. You know me, Tiny. No big deal. Just a game.
Yep.
No, it's just 500 hours of my life down the tubes.
Yeah, right.
There's worse that can happen.
That's for damn sure. Alrighty. Get those all cut. Sweet. I'm clearing the shoreline here on St. Croix Flowage. I'm gonna put my quarters in there, I guess. So you have to excuse me for just a few minutes, gents. We're gonna use the facilities. Who's yapping on Facebook here?
I don't know why I'm doing this mission. I don't have to do missions anymore, man. Well, I'm still buying land, so I should do the missions, right? I mean, this is one of the next field I want to buy, so...
Yeah. Yep. No.
36. One.
Just one.
Hey, language. You doubled it there. Don't do that.
Charles, are you streaming, bud?
Huh?
You streaming?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You make all of us old guys look bad when you cuss, bro.
Yeah, Charles is logging too. What are you working on there, Charles?
I'm working on some logging over here on Eureka Farms.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I think I'm having a reaction to Oxycontin. My whole back itches.
I told you.
Ugh.
Every time I take that stuff, man, I get itchy. I told you. Dun dun dun.
Micey, you know what? I
again.
Called my sister Christmas Day. She sent me a text saying Merry Christmas. I called her and I said, what the hell are you doing texting me on Christmas Day? So we chatted for about an hour, but she had mentioned the same thing you did. And she asked me if my back got itchy, and the first time I took it, I didn't notice it. I'm freaking scratching the shit out of my back now, man.
It'll wake you up out of the sleep. Wait, you'll see. You'll see. You'll fall asleep, man. It'll wake you up.
Well, I took 2 Oxy last night, and it got me through the entire day. I didn't have to worry about it, but I also slept all freaking day too because of it. I took 2 more tonight, so...
The weird thing is Valium is like that drug in natural form, and it doesn't make you itchy.
Yeah. That's weird.
I mean, it's all morphine. Valium, Percocets, Percodans, it's all morphine. But that would make you itchy.
It's all bad for you no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, it's
But
all
it
bad for you.
makes you feel so damn good. Alright, I'll be right
No
back, folks.
crap, right?
Alright.
That's like Fish on Barney Miller. They all were giving them brownies that were loaded up with weed. And Fish says, first time I felt good in 20 years and it has to be illegal. Wow, this is a big field too, man. I'm all the way around, plus part of the way around again, I've only got a quarter of the field done. Why would they not give me a bigger harvester? I mean, I'm just worried about taking money off the price of the land, not the money that I take in from the work.
Alright. Let's park this over here for a little bit. Clean out the stumps.
Wah, wah, wah.
Before I do that.
Did J Ray leave the party? Oh, okay, I mean, you got quiet all of a sudden, man. Oh, you're doing something, all right. I heard about you. Hey, language, man. Gotta watch your language, bro. You're too young. Yeah, I know, but still. It's important, J-Ray. You're just too young. You're making all of those old guys look bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiny.
Yeah.
You got you're still streaming, right?
No, I cut my stream. After
Okay.
I won't.
No.
I think the one
I may
that
have
started the party
invited
has to.
They told me it's my problem if he cusses.
Don't swear.
I'm just
Don't
making
swear,
my
man.
problem.
Alright, I'm gonna jump off the headset for a little bit because I gotta walk all the way downstairs to go smoke.
All right, man. Catch you in a couple minutes.
If it wasn't for my damn sliding the screen door freezing, I wouldn't have to, but...
It's good
the
that you
snow
can
we
go
did.
down and up the stairs, man. Look at it in a positive light.
Oh,
Right?
well, I use the elevator because I'm fat and lazy, so, you know.
Welcome to my world.
But I can use the stairs if I so choose now, so that's a bonus. Getting some of my strength back at least. No, I live in a 3-4 apartment complex. I ain't that rich for a mansion, not yet, anyway. Never will be. But I'll be back,
It just
folks.
depends on where you want to live, man. You can live here in a mansion. You don't want to be in New York City. I mean, depends on where you live, how much it costs. You can get a 500,000 square foot house, a 5,000 square foot house here for a couple $100,000 if you look well. You know, another $100,000 worth of work into it, it's a palace. You got an estate, you know, you put another 100,000 into it, you got a mini mansion. Yeah, seriously. Just depends on what you want to do, man. It's cheap where I'm at. Yep. It certainly is. Makes me feel bad for them city folk. What's that? Well, of course there is. City people are stressed out all the time, man. They're constantly on the rush and on the go, and traffic's driving them crazy, you know. And then they can hear their neighbors, you know what I mean, all the time. And shoot, I can turn my radio up full blast, bang on my drum set, and beat my wife and kick the puppy, and still no one's gonna hear me. You know, that's country life for you. They just go through a lot more stress. It's not that they're bad people, you know what I mean? They're just more stressed out. I actually feel bad for them, you know? I don't want to live in that kind of stress anymore. And I can recognize it because I lived in a place with 1.5 million people for 23 years.
Oh, man. I don't think I could
Right.
stand that.
Oh, it was
Bad enough with a
maddening,
couple
Charles.
100,000.
It was maddening.
You're going to push
there's
yourself right off the
benefits
couch
to it,
there,
but
Benji.
not much.
You don't want to do it again, do you? Oh, I'm talking to my puppy here. He's pushing against me, fixing to push himself right off the couch.
And my taxes, eesh. My taxes fell by like, if I moved back and bought my house back, my taxes would go up about, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, about 2,000 times. Yeah. Back where I was at, my taxes were a little, before insurances now, just property taxes, were a little over $20,000 a year. Yeah. And now they're just barely over $1,000 a year. And I got 10 times the amount of property. I was on 1/5 of an acre over there, and I'm on 3 acres here. My house was 1,400 square feet there. It's 4,200 square feet here. Yeah. So that'll tell you. Way better here. It's not that much property, really. You know, it's about the size of a small park. My house, 1.5. Well, no, the attic has a bedroom up there, and I'm getting ready to install a bathroom up there, too. It's a big bedroom. The bedroom's like 12 feet by 18 feet with a walk-in closet. You know, and then on the other side, I'm going to install a bathroom, and the bathroom will be pretty big as well. You know, so, but the only thing is it's considered a half because the roof line doesn't come completely down over the Florida room. You know, and the Florida room was actually an addition. It was a screened-in room first, and that's why it doesn't come over that. But because of that, it's considered 1.5. But it's I'm like 3,200 feet downstairs and 1,000 feet upstairs. Now, if I readjust my roof line, I could get myself another 2,500, another maybe 2,000 square feet up there to bring my house up to, you know, 7,000 square feet, 6,000 square feet, in that range. But I don't see any point in readjusting my roof line to do that, because I don't need the square footage. In other words, they wasted a lot of space. You know. Yeah, I don't have to change my roof line on the outside to do that. I just have to readjust how they did the walls on the inside. You know, they just did the walls in kind of a weird way. You still there, Charles?
I didn't go anywhere.
You're quiet, man.
That's correct.
Charles knows the time of day. Charles in charge.
Oh, Lordy, I remember that show.
I do too. How about Joni Loves Chachi?
Yep.
It's hard to believe she's dead, huh? Erin Moran, she's been dead for a long time too.
Hello.
All right,
It's cold.
Tiny.
It's cold outside.
In the
It's
movie
snowing.
industry, who was the oddest woman you was attracted to?
The oddest
movie.
woman.
The oddest woman, like the one that in real life, you know, most of the time would not be the one that, you know, you would be attracted to.
Oh. I'm gonna have to say the older twin from It's a White Christmas. The blondes. You know, the
I
two
don't
sisters.
remember that show.
Are you
There's a
talking about
movie.
the one, the Gabors?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh my
Y'all-
gosh, they were beautiful.
You're
They were
talking about,
beautiful.
it had to be Zsa and,
Ava.
yeah, that's it, Ava.
So which one was it, Ava or Zsa Zsa?
The
Ava
one that
was in
played
Green Acres.
the one that played the older sister.
Yeah, did you ever see Green Acres?
Oh yeah, my grandfather had me hooked on that when I was a kid.
All right, is that the same girl from Green Acres?
No, no, it
Okay,
was
then
that.
it's
I
Zsa
believe,
Zsa.
I believe the one that did Green Acres would have been the younger sister, and It's a White Christmas.
That's, yeah, Ava. So you were interested in Zsa Zsa Gabor. While I was asking that question, I was trying to think of who and you know, the weirdest one that I was attracted to probably was actually, there was two of them. Sparrow, what's going on? There was actually two of them. One
Welcome,
was
Sparrow.
Audrey Hepburn, because she had the body of a number 2 pencil, which
Yep.
usually isn't attractive to me. And the other one is June Pointer from the Pointer Sisters. For some reason, man, I don't know what it is about that girl,
Huh.
but I just found her very attractive. I still do now, even though she's passed on. When I watch them old songs and stuff, don't know why, no clue.
Me. That's all
Come
I
on,
can
Charles,
drink
how
nowadays.
about you?
Can't drink regular soda. I gotta be careful with diet
Who's the
soda
most
because it's got
unusual woman
aspartame
you
in
was
it.
attracted to on TV
Who,
or
me?
radio? Yeah.
Well, I hate to tell you, it was Xena. Trying to remember her real name.
Xena the Lesbian Warrior?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I can't drink regular soda, and I have to drink diet soda in moderation because it's got aspartame in it, which is bad. It's really, really bad.
Yes, it is.
Any
I quit drinking Kool-Aid, damn, when I was 19, 20 years old.
I
Just
still
lost my
drink
taste.
Kool-Aid on occasion.
I lost my taste for it.
I
It
did too
doesn't
for the
have an appeal
longest
to
time.
me.
Maybe I'm getting older now. Maybe that's one of the side effects of getting older, because I'm not going to tell you that I like it again, because it's not really, you know, that pleasurable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll drink like that Country Time lemonade or something like that every so
Oh, that
often.
stuff, I love that stuff, but I still can't drink it. Sucks.
Hey, I got no viewers again. They all jumped off when I talked about Kool-Aid.
I'm watching your stream.
Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid.
I got your stream up on
Racist
my phone.
bastard, I'm out of here.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, they all want to drink Monster drinks and stuff.
That's
Oh,
what got.
God. I've never drank any of that stuff in my life.
That's what got me into trouble with my diabetes.
What, Monster drinks?
Yep. I was out here. They have. They don't have 1 liter bottles of soda. They have 1.25 liter bottles of soda.
Right.
And they have the biggest ones out here are Mountain Dew and Pepsi. And when we moved out here, I saw that and I was in freaking heaven because I'm a Mountain Dew fanatic.
Oh yeah.
But I was drinking 4 of those bottles a day at least, and maybe 3 or 4 Monsters on top of it.
Oh man.
Wow.
Which is why when I went into the hospital,
You trying to kill yourself?
my sugars were just about. They were like 598 when I went into the emergency room. And that's when they found out I was
sounds like
dying
you were
almost.
committing suicide there, bro.
No, it says I like the sugar. I like the sweetness of them.
I get it, but that's a lot.
It is a lot. I was addicted to soda. No, I don't dick with suicide. I lost a brother to that shit.
I hear you.
No,
Well, you probably feel a lot better without all that sugar in your body too.
Oh, dude, Charles, no joke, dude. I haven't felt this good in a dog's age. With not drinking that stuff. I drank.
I could buy this for 232,000.
I started drinking. It's called Clear American carbonated water.
Yeah.
Walmart is where I get it at, and it's to me it's just as good as drinking soda, but it doesn't have the sugars, it doesn't have any of the carbs or anything you have to worry about, and it's water. So what the hell, you know? They got good flavors, so. And for the price of per bottle, you can't beat it. It's like 57 cents a bottle.
I bought a new piece of land, a big piece too.
Sweet.
I think it's the biggest piece I own now.
Damn.
Looks like soy time.
That's what I've been playing a lot on my Switch, is soy and sunflowers and
You know what's gonna happen here,
canola.
Chinese? I'm gonna get too much land to be able to harvest.
Yeah, you're gonna get so preoccupied trying to keep up with everything, you're gonna run out of time doing stuff.
Right.
I hear you. Been there, done that.
Don't buy all the land. No, it don't matter. You know, you only have so much time in a day, man.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing more than one map too.
Oh god, you can burn yourself out if you're doing it like that.
That's why I took that short break this afternoon and did chickens on the road. That was hilarious.
Oh, sweet, I should be able to pay off the loan in these couple of hours here. Awesome.
I gave myself an optical illusion.
Man, no worries.
Take a look at this here real quick. How much wood did I sell?
So one thing that I find is a bigger problem with PC than it is with console. It's nothing against PC, but I see more complaints about mod conflicts with PC than I have with consoles. Like I played 17 for years with no issues, and then all of a sudden on one map, and it didn't happen all that long ago because I still had the save file on 17. I ran into my very first mod conflict on 17, and I couldn't figure out what the hell it was for the longest time. I was doing chaff for the BGA, and I was just mowing grass, and I loaded into the modded tipper I was using, take it to the VGA. I'd start unloading it, and it would stop a quarter of the way through unloading. And I couldn't figure out what. It wouldn't crash the game. It would just the
Stop
modded
unloading?
tipper. It would stop unloading, and you'd have to restart it like 4 or 5 times just to get it emptied. So I sold that tipper. I got a different modded tipper, and it still had the same problem. So finally, I said, you know what? Let me try something. Sold that tipper, bought an in-game tipper, and sure as shit, that was the issue. It unloaded first shot after that. Because I do remember when 17 came out, certain modded maps had issues with mods. And
Right.
I had never run into the problem until then. And that was the first experience I'd had with a mod conflict on console. I know guys that run 1,500 mods on PC. They run them all, and then they run into a mod conflict where it crashes the game, and then they have to uninstall each mod to find out if that was a problem. So it takes 10 times longer to figure out what the problem is, because you have to uninstall a mod, load back into the game, see if it crashes. If it does, well, that wasn't the problem, so you add that one back in, then you go back and take out the next one, blah 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 blah. I don't know if I want
That
a PC
sounds like
just
a
because
lot
of
of
that.
work.
What's that? Oh yeah, you can do it. There's some guys that do it that way too.
When I have a mod problem, you know what I do? Take it out on the wife. Tell her it's her fault. I'm only kidding. This is all your fault. You're a damn jinx.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. That's a simple answer to that. A
That's all I
lot.
have to say about that.
There's definitely strong issues.
Take a look over here real quick.
I'm gonna have to start cutting down trees pretty soon.
So
What?
Abed grinds his maps up from nothing to everything.
It takes a long time. Which reminds me, I wonder how long I've been doing this map now. 61 hours. 61 hours.
Not too
And
much
I've
time.
done 81 missions.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Gets my land prices down. I have, let's see.
That was 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I got 10 or 11 pieces of land.
That's not bad. You're cooking right along with that one.
10. Yeah, 10 pieces. Yeah, I gotta get up to, you know, I need more. But we're not far off. You know, we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I figure once I've got 3 per session, 3 maps per, you know, 3 fields per session in the strip,
Mm-hmm.
you know, then I'm good. You know what I mean? Because it leaves me room to do all the stuff that I want to do, like logging and stuff like that.
Right.
A little bit of space, you know, and I'll be making enough money where I'll be getting rich too, so.
Yeah.
I figure that's the magical keynote right there. But I am definitely going to have to cut out some trees in this map pretty soon. Yeah. Just gotta do it. Not doing it wouldn't be prudent.
chainsaw, because that's...
Remember who used to say that? Wouldn't be prudent.
Nope.
Charles.
I've heard it, but I can't remember who always said it.
George Walker Bush Sr. Wouldn't be prudent.
Wow.
He did. George Sr. used to say it all the time. Wouldn't be prudent. And there was this old actress, I can never remember her name, but she talked like this. Really? Really now? Really?
Wow, that'd drive me up a freaking wall.
Oh my gosh, did it ever.
Shut up!
It's gonna be lovely. Really? Really now?
There we go. Get rid of all that.
That sounds familiar, very familiar who you're describing.
I know, you know who it is, you just can't think of her name either. I know you know who it is, Charles, because she was a big deal in the 50s and 60s.
And if I'm not mistaken...
Might be like Mae West or something like that, I don't know.
Or Minnie Pearl.
No, Minnie Pearl was happy, she was a nice lady. This lady wasn't a nice lady. She always played like a rich snob. One thing about them old country folk is they were real. You know, they weren't like these fake ass country folk people today.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
they told you how it was.
Yeah, they were salt of the earth people, J. Ray, and unfortunately in your generation you don't know any. The whole generation is dead. But they would be, if you ran into one now, they'd be about 95 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just nice folk, you know, like back in the day, that generation of country music singers were very personable. They were reachable, approachable, you know, and on top of that, if you were hungry and knocked on their door, they'd feed you.
Yeah.
Not like today where they call dogs on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, today it's completely different. Remember when the baseball players used to sign baseballs for kids?
Mm-hmm. now you're just pissing them off because you asked for it.
Yep. Ain't got no time for you. No time.
Yeah, that's what I did. I went outside to have a smoke after I used the restroom.
Well, if things plowing, I may as well do it now.
Snowing here again. We're supposed to get hit with another nasty blizzard here in the next couple of days. I thought it wasn't supposed to hit till Tuesday, but I guess it's coming in tonight.
Is it igloo kind of snow?
No.
You know, you can make caves and stuff like that? Or is it dry powder snow?
It's the dry powdery stuff so far. Like,
can't do anything with that.
That doesn't mean anything with winter not even being fully here yet.
Right. But I mean, you don't know. They might never get that wet snow where you can make stuff, you know what I mean?
Oh no, they had
it's
that.
It's nice when you get 14 inches and it's wet, you know?
We got that when we moved here back in March.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they had that wet heavy snow.
Yeah, wet heavy snow is the way to go.
Let's see here. That's weird.
There you go. That's the way to go. See, we all understood it. Yeah, but we didn't like it. There's a difference. You're embarrassing the old people, man. You're making us look bad. Whenever a young man's swearing around old folk, it only makes the old folk look bad. That's all that it does. Makes us look like we're not setting a good example. Besides, you're gonna meet your wife pretty soon and go for big job interviews. And if you're practicing that stuff now, you'll be doing it at the table with her in-laws or trying to get a job. They'll slip out. You know what I mean? You don't need to be practicing them words. Yeah, but you gotta, when you do it often, that's when you get in trouble. Because it comes out in places where it shouldn't.
My kids have heard everything, every bad word in the book, but they also understand not to repeat it, even if they are
right, exactly.
adults.
Don't repeat it.
Yeah.
Just because somebody else does it doesn't mean you have to do it.
That's what the
And
old
we
man
all
always
swear
told
on
us when we
occasion,
were
but
kids.
it's got to be limited, man.
Do as I do, not as I say.
Yep.
Or do as I say, not as I do.
That's what my dad used to tell me. He was... tiny. And, they had, wow, that's straight. They had, the FS-17 music playing.
Really?
The show was called Hometown, a do-it-yourself show.
Yep.
From HGTV, not DYI.
Yeah.
But they were playing that Farmer 17, and like more than one song.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I told you, Giants doesn't own that music, man.
Oh, I know Giants doesn't own it, but it's still YouTube playable.
They should have sold it. They should have bought it. They shouldn't. You know what I mean?
The music has its own creators
Yeah, I know.
that wrote the music for the game, but it was made to be played made for YouTube to be used on YouTube. That's why I've never gotten in trouble using it.
That's because you're not monetized, though.
No, it doesn't matter. That one stream I did of Need for Speed, and I forgot to turn the music down. I got tagged for that. I was banned within 30 minutes in 5 different countries because I played that music on Need for Speed Rivals.
Really?
Yep.
I
shouldn't. No, it was 5 countries in 30 minutes. My video was banned from.
Where, in Europe?
Yeah, and they put ads in my video to pay for the royalties because of it.
Wow.
But that's all they did to me. It wasn't even really a strike, it was a warning. And this is what we're going to do to you because of it. At that point, I was so new to YouTube, I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't give a shit. I didn't care.
Oh, Metallica's the cause of all of that.
Oh, I don't care who is the cause of it. That's stupid anyway.
It is stupid. But they did it. Bastards.
But I have a hard time keeping it.
Bastards is not a cuss. You can say bastard anytime you want. I don't have a problem with that
illegitimate child.
Or a dog.
Or a dog.
Well, that's not a cuss word, man. Not a cuss word.
I have a bad habit of swearing.
J-Ray, how old are you? That's why. We're old, bro. Doesn't matter, we're old. And it just shames us. Not because of what we're doing, but because you're doing it, it makes us look bad.
No, don't do that.
Well, actually it is. Well, like I told you, you can make it my problem if you want. I don't have a problem with that. Right, you're just, J-Ray, if you were 40 years old and you were cussing,
I have a hard time watching my language.
Then I would have a harder time saying something about it. But because you're 16 years old and you're cussing, you make us look bad. No, you make us look bad. You make us look bad to your grandparents and your parents and your family. You make us look like scumbags. No, really, I'm telling you, it makes me feel like I'm a scumbag. All right.
I
Five,
slept all
four and a
day.
half, unfortunately.
That the Oxycontin kicked my arse today. Slept literally all day. I think I passed out around 5 o'clock this morning, and I was gone till about 4:30 tonight.
Wow.
I was up. I know I was awake a couple of times just to use the bathroom, but that was it. Yeah, I don't. I don't sleep a lot to begin with because I deal with insomnia, and I feel like if I sleep, I'm wasting time.
Hey, J Ray,
But that's just the way I am.
I want to ask you a serious question. You cuss in front of your mom? No, I never cuss in front of my mom. Never.
I had my mouth washed out with a bar of soap when I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And it was because somebody heard me say one thing when I said something completely different. And my old man didn't believe me.
It didn't matter. It was time to learn a lesson whether you did it or not.
Yeah. Oh, I called my older sister a little rascal. And my brothers, who were half-brothers, heard something completely different.
Yeah, I can already
Mm.
hear what they heard.
Yep. And my father didn't give two craps. He
Nah,
took
didn't
called
matter.
me called me into the bathroom, had a bar of soap behind his back, and grabbed me by the throat and went to town.
Man, that's a bad
Guy
taste
asked
in your
me the
mouth
other day
too.
about having
That ain't
something
no
about
joke,
having.
Charles. That ain't no joke. Irish Spring.
And
What's
I
even
explained
worse
to him
is
about the
dial.
spankings.
You
I
know what?
explained to the young man about the spankings, Tiny. You're gonna love this. I said, when you have 2 kids or 3 kids, the idea here is, you know, learning a valuable lesson. I said, sometime when you're really not angry about what they did, and I mean, you really got to wait until you're not angry at all about what they did. You really don't give a care either way.
Hmm.
I said, then you ask which one did it. And when none of them admit to it, you spank them all,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And this way, one learns a lesson about what they did wrong, and the other two learn a lesson life isn't fair.
Not to do it, yeah. And then they learn not to do it.
Yeah. I said
Um,
there's a lot of valuable lessons there. I said,
I
but you got
have
to be careful when you do it because you don't want to do it when you're angry, you
my
know?
old man. My old man did not ever hesitate with that when we were kids. If you did something wrong and you knew you did something wrong, then it was a whooping all the way around.
Spankings are good
And
for you.
I didn't,
Sorry.
even with three boys, I mean, I've only had to whoop my older two boys' butts once. And
That's about all you really have to do if you can catch up with it in time.
they're 18 and 17. And oh,
Tiny,
they
you
were
know what that tells
probably,
me?
they were
It tells
probably
me,
9 and 7 at the time when I did it.
yeah, you know what it tells me, Tiny? It just tells me you had a really good hold on your kids when they were 2.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you can
no,
knock
dude, when
so much stuff out of them when they're 2 years old.
I remember walking through a Stop and Shop one day with my wife and our two older boys, and it was just us at the time. The third one hadn't come along yet.
Right?
And this old couple walking the opposite direction. The husband, who was obviously grandfather, he was that old. He had to have been 85, 89 years old, and his
Right.
wife wasn't far behind him. They actually stopped, and the husband shook my hand and commented on how well behaved our two boys were, and they were probably. Our oldest had to have been like 3 or 4, and his brother was like 1.5, 2.
Yeah.
Because they're only like 15 months apart. and he couldn't believe how well behaved they were. They were just, the oldest was walking next to the cart, holding onto the cart, and the youngest was in the seat in the cart in the carriage, and they were just, chilling, walking along, looking around, not screaming like somebody's kid 3 aisles over because they weren't getting what they wanted.
Right.
Our kids were very well behaved. That's what I love the best about my boys, especially when it comes to like birthdays or Christmas.
Yeah.
For one, they're not expecting anything, and two,
Yeah.
what they do get, they're more than content with. They don't get upset. They don't get mad. They don't get PO'd that they didn't get what they wanted. They're happy with what they got.
I saw a lady.
I pride myself. I pride myself in that because there are so many kids out there nowadays that they lose their minds and they don't get what they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. That's a problem. That's a definite problem. Saw this lady the other day, just a couple weeks back, maybe at the most, and her 2-year-old daughter hit her. And I said, you need to correct that right now. I said, you don't correct that right now, she's going to be hitting you when she's 13.
Yep.
And it was right in the store timing. It was right in the convenience store. And I told her, I said, you don't correct that right now, and I'm a pastor in the town, you know what I mean? So I can be boisterous if I want. I said, you're going to have serious problems when this girl turns 13 years old. You're going to have real serious problems. So you just looked at me like I was crazy. You know, and I said, just go for it then, just don't punish her for it. Just let her get away with it and you see what happens.
Yep.
When you come back in 10 years and you tell me this girl's hitting you, I don't want to even hear it. And by the way, don't bother walking through my church doors.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want it.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I fully agree with you.
She doesn't want to pop the kid, I'll do it for her. I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? See, I have this thing. If you don't want your son in the electric chair, teach him when they're in the high chair.
Yep.
Most of their valuable lessons, you can breed almost anything out of them at 2 years old. Almost anything. It's just a matter. Because at that age, Tiny, you just make a rattling noise on their pamper and they're brokenhearted. You know what I mean? You don't have to hit them. Just like this on the pamper and you're good to go.
Yep.
They didn't feel nothing. They just heard a noise and it bothered them. Good to go.
Oh, I remember
and that's when you correct the lying, cheating, stealing, hitting. You know what I mean? Everything.
My father wants me to... My younger sister had just gotten ready for bed and she didn't have a pull-up on yet. She just got out of the tub. And she did something that she got in trouble for it. And I remember, the only reason I remember is one, our father always told us about the incident because he thought it was funny in the long run. But she did something wrong and he took a swat at her ass. And she didn't have anything on underneath her nightgown. Oh, you felt that across the house. He actually felt bad afterwards because he didn't know because the mom had just gotten her out of the tub.
Tiny, all it tells me the way your boys act is your wife did not put up with crap when they were 2. And
oh
that
God,
is so
my
good.
wife didn't. No, we didn't put up with any kind of crap with any of the boys.
Because you can correct almost all of that at that age.
We got 3 boys, which I believe wholeheartedly boys are 10 times easier to raise than girls are. Because I remember seeing what my parents went through raising girls.
Oh.
I wouldn't wish half of that on my worst enemy.
Boys are harder at 2, but way easier at 15 because girls hate their mother at 15 until they have a child of their own. Yeah. And it's always talk to the hand, I'm way smarter than you, and it's just because they're forging their own way. It's just completely natural. Mm-hmm. My sister hooked up with a guy my parents didn't like, man. I tried to tell my parents, there's nothing you can do about this. She's gonna make her own way in life, and they just wouldn't listen to me, and she ended up running away, man. Yeah. But the odd thing is that even though she took the bad path and decided to do that, my parents took the bad path by deciding they were gonna run her life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The boy ended up going into the military immediately, and they were up in Alaska, and you know, they're still doing well, and it's got to be around 30 years later. You know, so I mean, he was a good kid.
Yeah.
Just my parents had no faith in him. You know what I mean? And I'm like, who
Yeah,
the hell
but
are you to judge?
that
You know
goes
what I
with
mean?
any parent with a daughter.
What
That
hell?
goes that
Hell's not
goes
a
with
cuss word. It's a place.
that goes with any parent that has to raise a daughter though. They never
Right.
have any faith in the would-be husband or boyfriend or whatever.
Well, the weird thing is, it wasn't the first daughter.
Oh
You know,
wow.
that was the odd thing about it. You know, it's like you've been
So
through this before. You
yeah,
should
they'd
know
already
this
dealt with
already.
it. Yeah.
You cannot control who a girl's gonna date. You just can't. You just have to grit your teeth. Now,
Did you
what you
hear about
can do
did you hear
is
about the
force the
parents over
boy
the
to come in
summer?
the house tiny and have a shotgun, cleaning a shotgun when he comes in the house. You know, cleaning a shotgun.
Did you hear what happened over the summer?
What's that?
This is actually kind of heartbreaking. A girl's parents disowned her because her conservative boyfriend proposed to her and she said yes.
So the
And
parents disowned her?
the parents were far left liberals.
Nuts.
They literally disowned her and would not go to their wedding.
Yeah, they're nuts.
Father would not walk her down the aisle, nothing. That's just sad.
They gave up their child for
Over
political.
politics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nuts. They're
that's
insane.
yep, that's stupid.
I'm gonna guess their age between 30 and 35.
No, they were up in age, like 50, 60 years old. They
Oh my
refused.
gosh.
Somebody you'd think would have common sense and would be smarter
Generation
than to
X
let
and
that.
that retarded.
Yeah.
There's not too many of them in my generation, man. There's really not. You know why they call us Generation X? Because they X'd us out of everything. Because
Yeah.
they X'd us out.
I feel like I was born about 30 years too loud. I feel like I was born about 30 years too late, so. I missed the pony car era by 30 years.
You didn't. Yeah, well, I missed it by 3 years. You know, everybody in that baby boomer generation just got everything for free their whole entire lives, man. I'm serious about that, Tiny. Everything for free their whole entire lives. They have virtually no sense of reality whatsoever at all.
There is an exception to the millennial and the whatever the next generation is. And some made it through. Some made it through unscathed.
Yeah, some made it through unscathed. The millennial goes Generation D is now, I think. Then the millennials, then Generation D, then Generation X, and then baby boomers.
And that's where I fall in at baby boomer era.
That's not your fault.
My oldest sister's Christmas from boot camp.
Right.
And he's a level-headed kid. He made it through. He's 19, 20 years old now.
Wow.
And he's just a regular level-headed kid.
Yeah, your Generation D, Tiny.
Doesn't think he's owed anything. No, I'm the tail end of Generation X.
All right, Generation X.
I was born the last year of the Generation X.
J-Ray is 16 years old. He's definitely Generation Z. He's not a millennial. No, you're not a millennial. You're too young. You're Generation Z. You're too young.
You were raised on a farm too, so you have common sense and brains.
You're gonna have Generation X, common sense.
I firmly believe that if you were raised on a farm, you've made it.
You have a better chance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, let's get off the cuss word thing. Here's a general rule of thumb. I don't cuss even when I smash my hand, believe it or not. I don't. I don't take the Lord's name in vain. I thank the Lord that it happened.
I dance around like an idiot, grabbing my thumb.
I do that sometimes. I do that sometimes. That still happens. But I learned to stop cussing doing that because I'm not helping myself any. I'm not helping my cause. The thing here, J-Ray, is, It doesn't matter where you cuss outside of here. In here, it's humiliating to me and Tiny. It really is, and Charles. It's humiliating for us, so please don't. Just be a friend and regard our wishes as the gospel, and please don't. As best you can.
What do I have left to pay off?
Yeah, exactly. Just don't run them together like,
20,000 left to pay off.
trash horrible girl.
Sweet.
Now, when you're with your friends and you're all 16 years old, who cares what you do?
I believe driver's ed should still be taught in school, like when you and Charles would have been in high school. It was actually
Yeah.
It was actually a part of your curriculum.
They don't teach that anymore? No,
Not
it
in
wasn't
high
part of our
school.
curriculum. We had to have certain grades. If we didn't make certain grades, then we had to pay for driver's training, and we had to wait till we were 18 years old.
Well, I guess that varies state by state. My father-in-law remembers driver's ed as being a regular course in high school when you turn 16.
It was a regular course, but in order for you as a high school to give it to you for free,
They
and
didn't have to worry
had
about
big
grades or anything. No, they didn't have to. Grades didn't matter. It was taught just like home economics. It was expected to be taught in school.
Well, we had to take home ec.
Oh, I did when I started high school too, and then the year after that, they got rid of it. They canceled that in my high school. It wasn't.
Yeah, I
deemed
had to
that,
learn how to sew and cook and everything else.
It wasn't because the year after I took it, it wasn't deemed necessary anymore by the state.
You know what the weird thing was? We had to take home ec, but the girls did not have to take wood or metal shop.
It was an option for them to do that. No.
Yeah, it was an option, and then it wasn't a favored upon option either.
Right.
They had to really kind of fight if they wanted to get there and do that. They had to show a real willingness for it.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, in my first years of high school, 7th and 8th grade, it was shop and home economics. But once you hit into the vocational part of your high school, which was 9, 10, 11, and 12, there was another option in there called vocational agriculture.
Yeah, I went to an agricultural school, and you had to wait to be a freshman to join it.
Yeah, I was
in the
4-H club and FFA.
And both male and female could go into vocational agriculture, but you wasn't. When I went to school, there was no such thing as boys going to home economics. So I had to get my home economics at home from my parent, my mother, and my grandmother.
Oh yeah.
Now they forced all the boys when I was in the X to do home economics for one time. It was part of our. If we wanted to graduate from high school, we had to do it once.
Any students that came to our school from another district or town had to keep their grades up to be in VOAG. The kids from the 3 towns that made up our high school, which was Warren, Morris, and Goshen, they had the option you had to get accepted into the VOAG program, but once you were in because you were part of that district.
Right.
Or region. You didn't have to worry about grades or anything, and I majored in 4 years of agricultural mechanics.
Wow. Now, I remember something I bet you Tiny doesn't remember, but Charles might. When I was a kid, girls were not allowed in billiard halls, period.
No, I don't remember that, because I remember going to billiard
halls
with quite a few friends that were women.
Now, that might have been a Rhode Island thing, I don't know. But women were not allowed in a billiard hall whatsoever at all, period, at any time.
Huh.
Not even to go in to get their husband, nothing. They weren't allowed in, period. They had to stay outside and wait for the man to come out.
That had to have been a Rhode Island thing then. I've never heard of that.
I don't know. Charles, do you remember that?
No, because I never heard of that, because Pennsylvania women went into the billiard halls also.
Yeah.
How old were you when you went into the billiard halls? See, I
Well,
was
I never
raised in
went. To
billiard
be honest
halls.
with you, I never went. I never had the time, had the opportunity to go into
Yeah,
the
so
billiard
Charles
halls
wouldn't
because
know.
I was born and raised on the farm. I had responsibilities I had to take care of on the
Right.
farm.
And where I was born in a small town, and my dad and my uncles owned billiard halls, I was forced into them. So yeah.
And that's where gambling was involved at.
Well, not just that. Women, they just felt like, was a bad mix with billiards. Which, I hate to say this, it's not true. It's not
Well,
true. It's not.
yeah, but if
It's,
you go back 70 or 80 years, women weren't supposed to read books or learn anything either. So
I don't know about
it
any
was
of
frowned
that.
upon. Well,
I don't know about
it's
it.
not
That's
that they
before my
it's not
time.
it's not that they couldn't learn or read books, but it was frowned upon if a woman read a book or tried to learn education or anything.
All the time that I grew up, women were more apt to read than men. If your book was being bought or sold, it was a woman buying it. And now, if you look it up, what I'm telling you is about true. What I'm about to tell you is true, and you're not going to believe me until you look it up. But it's something like 75% of all books sold across the world are sold to Jewish women.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so your main audience, if you're making a book, is for Jewish women, because they buy most of the books.
Hmm.
And it just sounds like something you would say, how could that possibly be true? It's true, believe it or not, it's true.
Oh, I believe it. There's just some weirder stuff in this world that are
It's
true,
like
and you wouldn't believe it.
25% of all the people in the world in jail right now are in jail in America.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah, for
another one that's hard to
for
believe.
stupid crimes. No,
Yeah, a lot of them
to
are just crimes.
it's ridiculous for some of the stuff people do. Murderers get off with a 10-year sentence and probation, but some dude caught selling marijuana gets a life sentence, no probation.
Yeah,
How the hell does that work?
I think part of the problem with the judicial system right now, or the jail, is that judges are allowed to own jails or own parts of jails, and a judge should never be able to own part of a jail
Hmm.
because it's a conflict of interest. He's making himself money by putting someone in jail. It's a conflict of
Yeah.
interest. A- anything but a
Yeah.
jail. Anything but a
Yeah.
jail. you know, that there's something wrong, there. But it happens. Believe it or not, there's a lot of places where you go into the town and a judge owns a share of the jail, and that's just bad news. That's just setting. Even if that judge is honest, and never takes that into consideration, you're just opening up a can of worms that probably really shouldn't be opened.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? All right, another field
I don't
down.
know why I'm sitting here. Easy work. See where I'm at on this harvest. Wow.
All for that flashy green paint job and that emblem. I used to work for John Deere, actually. It was one of my first jobs when I was, because of being in Boag, I had to have an ag-related job. It was
Wow.
one of the stipulations for being in Boag. I worked for a John Deere dealership when I was 15 years old. It was my first job. I was making $5.25 an hour.
Wow.
Try $2.75 as a starting wage.
Oh my!
You're not
I
gonna
know where you're
believe my
coming from,
starting
Charles.
wage.
My old man used to tell me about some of the jobs he had. His first job paid a quarter an hour.
My starting wage on a job,
That was a
believe
bag
it or
boy at a
not,
grocery
was
store.
minimum wage was $1.15. or something like that, a
Yeah,
dollar
I believe that.
35, somewhere in that neighborhood. But what I started the job at was $3.50 an hour, which was big money. You know what I mean? Back in
Oh
them
yeah.
days, and I was
Yeah.
working in a laundromat. You know, and the old man from the laundromat said, you know, you should feel, you know, lucky because when I was a kid, I only made $75 a month, a week.
Yeah.
He said, a
Yep.
week. I said, well, okay, you know, for that week, could you pay, you know, you told me your rent was $40 a month. So you could pay like a month's worth of rent in 1 week, buy all your groceries, and still possibly take your wife to the movies? And he goes, well, yeah, if I planned it out right, I could do that. I said, it takes me 2 weeks to do that. You need to pay me more money.
How'd that go over for you?
He never mentioned it again. He never mentioned it again.
Bet you didn't get a pay increase either.
No, I didn't because I was already getting paid idiot money. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I was making. My dad was working. My stepdad was working in a mill, and I was only earning like 25 cents an hour less than him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, hanging around the laundromat all day doing nothing basically.
Yeah, just babysitting machines and whatnot.
Push a mop, fix a machine,
Yep,
help out a
yep.
customer, you know. And normally then people only make, you know, at the time minimum wage, you know. But you gotta understand I was a valuable person, yeah, because I could fix the machines.
Yeah.
And his son was, hey, Chris! His son was my age. We're still good friends, real good friends
Hey,
to
Chris,
this day.
welcome.
And, you know, he just took a liking to me like I was his own son.
Mm-hmm.
So what he paid his son, he paid me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did I finish my coffee? Yeah, I finished my coffee. Damn.
So in that part of my life, I was spoiled. Of course.
So when his father left, it was him and his mother. And his first job was a bag boy at the local grocery store. And he worked after hours after school.
Right.
He'd go to work and then come home, do all of his homework, and he was only making like 25 cents an hour. When he did that.
Is that a little better, Chris? Wow. But you gotta understand, the rents was so cheap then, Tiny, and everything else was so cheap.
Well, that's
You
just
know,
it.
that it was
because
actually wasn't the same.
he was being the oldest. He was expected to help out around the house as much as possible. So he helped raise his brothers. He helped with bills and whatnot. Whatever he made for a paycheck went to his mother till he was 18 years old.
Right.
And that was just in that situation back then, and that was expected of the oldest child, especially if you were a son.
Is that better? All right,
Oh
cool,
my
awesome.
goodness.
So, you know, it's like, I just got into this the other day with my buddy from the Masters tournament. And the Masters pays like, you know, $1.5 million, $2 million now, you know, some stupid money like that, right?
Okay.
To the first place person. And I said, well, you know, that was probably about the same in 1970. There was no way. So I look it up, right? In 1970, the Master winner won $25,000.
Right.
Now, if you look up on Wikipedia how much $25,000 was then today and how much it is now, they say $400,000, right? But I didn't go by that way. I went by the average cost of an apartment in New York City, all right,
Okay.
in 1970. It turned out that it was $1.465 million that 25,000 would have been to today. Then I did it to McDonald's hamburgers. It turned out to be $1.585 million. So if you figure, if rent and gold came out to like 1.3 change million dollars, right? And if you figure, okay, if gold, rent in New York City, and McDonald's hamburgers all say $1.5 million approximately, then
Yep.
approximately it was $1.5 million, not $400,000. You know, not
Yeah.
I don't know where Wikipedia gets their numbers from, but I mean, I went by the average food, the average cost of rent, and the average price of gold, right? So I mean, how much more accurate could you be?
Right.
What's left? Well, if you think about it, that's right as rain. I mean, you know, that's the best way to judge, right?
Yeah.
How much money they were actually making. Because when Wikipedia said 400,000, I was like, "There's no way. There's just no way that's right." Well, Wikipedia is just somebody's opinion that Wikipedia decided to accept.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like. But it's also the first search that comes up on Google, and everyone thinks that that's the right thing.
Oh, yeah. Because the internet's never wrong, right?
Right. So then, you know, here's a guy that's a baby boomer telling me that Wikipedia is brilliant. You know, I'm like, yeah, freaking typical baby boomer. Do the math yourself, man. Don't trust the computer. Research, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if a McDonald's hamburger says basically $1.5 million, red says basically $1.5 million, gold says basically $1.5 million, you know, what do you think
Yeah.
it is? What do you think it is?
Yeah.
Right? Has to be basically $1.5 million.
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
Huh?
I wanted to work when I was 15 for the guy my dad drove for. You told me that before, Chris.
Not me.
Moving trucks and trailers around Washington. Work. If you're not working at 15 years old, you're screwed. I mean, something isn't right, you know? I mean, at 15 years old, you should be working because you want a car.
Yeah, but you still got a job.
Yeah, you're still doing something. You're
That's
not
more
just
than
sitting on your butt doing nothing, expecting your
that's more
parents to
than
get everything for you.
that's more than what a lot of 16-year-olds can say.
Yeah, exactly. I watched that show Tiny Houses about a year or so back, maybe 2 years back now. And
No, I don't.
first time getting married, right, Tiny?
Mhm.
The girl is 30, the boy is 31. They're gonna buy a tiny house, okay? Now, when I
Mhm.
say tiny, I mean this place is like less than 600 square feet. So
Yeah.
there's no chance that
They're
marriage is gonna work.
they're
That's
they're
doomed,
built for
right?
efficiency only.
Right. The marriage is doomed. I mean, you're never gonna get along in that. You know what I mean? You're gonna be fighting constantly. You're just too close together. People aren't built that way. You know, and then where do you think they put the tiny house, Tiny?
No idea.
In Ma's backyard.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Kids nowadays can't get
not
a
in a
job
million
doing
years,
anything
dude.
else. The government would have a heart attack if they knew what me and the kids had done and it cut off after in the.
Here, I'm on your page. I'll take a look. Kids nowadays can't get a job doing anything. Hell, the government would have a heart attack if they knew what me and other kids had done in the past. Yeah, no joke, man.
Yeah, no joke is right. Yeah, they would. Yeah. Shit, by the time I was only 15 years old when I was working at that laundromat.
I was only 15 working at that John Deere dealership. They hired me
Well,
technically as an assembly mechanic.
And shit,
And
Charles' age, he was probably working at 13.
in
a lot sooner than that. I was,
an assembly.
if I recall, I was 8 years old and I got assigned a job. And then at the age of 15, I went for a part-time job working out in the public and stuff like that. And then in my last year of high school, I was 17. Went to school during the day, and at night I had a full-time job to go to.
Mhm.
So that should tell you how long I've been working.
Are you retired yet, Charles?
Yes, I'm retired.
Good. God bless, man.
Y'all are gonna die when you hear how old I was when I retired. You won't believe me. I mean, the day when I really never had to work again, and from that time forward, never worked for anybody else. I'm sorry, bro. I'm Almazik. I only speak English, man. I'm sorry. I'm a retarded American. I retired at 28 years old.
How old were you?
28.
28? That just
Yeah.
means you did well in life, that's all.
My parents both are poor. I mean, we were so poor, we lived in a box in the middle of I-95 and still had to move once a month.
You poor bastard. I know the
Welfare
I-95
people
corridor.
look rich. We made a pot of stew one time that was supposed to last us 3 days, and a lady from next door came across in this nightgown we could see through, reaches over, pulls a spoon out of the pot, puts it in her mouth, and then spits it back into the pot and says, "That's gross."
Oh.
3 days worth of food. I mean,
I would have been beating somebody with that spoon.
oh my gosh, man, we were so friggin' mad. It was unbelievable. How the hell do you retire at 20? You just make money, bro.
You invest, you don't spend it, you don't wasteful spend. That's how you do it. Hell, if I knew half as much as I did, if I knew half as much as I do now at 16 years old, I never would have spent a freaking dime.
Well, at 28 years old, the house was completely paid for, and I had $500,000 plus in the bank. More than enough to retire on. I was a jockey. I was a disc jockey. I just got very lucky in an early age in my life. And that's all it boils down to. I got very lucky in an early age of my life. You know, I just happened to fall into the right places at the right times. And,
yeah,
know,
Chris,
did.
Chris, in my personal opinion, I'd get the hell out of California, man.
Oh, I've been telling that for a while.
The best thing that state could do is fall into the Pacific Ocean right now.
Yeah, no shit. I couldn't have done it in California, Chris. I did it in Florida and Rhode Island and Massachusetts. You know, and
one thing that sickened me over the last couple of years.
I really can't say Florida. I was already set by the time. Well, no, I guess I made a lot of it in Florida. Okay, so yeah, I don't know.
The one thing that sickens me about California right now is the fact that they're forcing transgenderism on kindergartners.
Right.
And if you're a parent, you cannot opt your child out of it. You're screwed. The only way to get your child out of something like that is to move out of the state.
That would be the first thing I would do.
Yep, hands
Goodbye.
down. The hell you're going to teach my kid about that crap?
Yep, I'm out. See you later. And I don't have a problem with doing that time. I'll up to. I've done it already. I've lived in Maine, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Georgia, Texas, and Florida, and Alabama. I don't have a problem.
You were a Texan for a little bit, huh?
I was in Texas in 1984, and I lived there for about a year. And the house that I lived in was way outside of downtown Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And the house that I lived in now is in downtown Houston. That's how much Houston grew since I lived there.
Wow.
I mean, I was 10 miles from downtown Houston.
Yeah, that's the thing about the flat states. They don't grow up, they grow out.
Right.
That's like when I lived in Nebraska. Omaha wasn't growing up, it was expanding. It was growing out. So one thing you don't see in a lot of southern and Midwest states are tall buildings.
Yeah.
They've learned their lessons with tornadoes.
Chris, tell him, you know, if your parents are in the kind of shape that they're in, it's kind of your responsibility to put down the
Well,
bottle and take care of it.
this is where I'm going to end it here. I'd
All
like
right,
to thank
Charles.
everybody that came in. I appreciate you stopping by and
You
listening
know,
to.
my mom. My mom is helpless. My mom is helpless. Well, my mom, she's ready. When my father